Oh, there we go. Now it's working. I don't know why my microphone wasn't picking up there. Hi, everyone. Happy Monday. Ooh, how are we all doing today? Welcome in, Cece. Welcome in, Petal. Cece sneaking in there and getting first. How are you? How is the trip going? Ooh, and Petal is celebrating her 18-month mod anniversary. Thank you for being a mod for the last 18 months. Plus, this thank you for being my friend for a really long time. How's everybody's weekend? My weekend was good. I got to see Petal and Speckle, and we got to hang out on Saturday, and we ate good food, and we drank margaritas, and then yesterday I died a little bit. But I'm back. I am I am still feeling some of the fatigue today, but um I'm doing okay. Oh no, it's been okay. First of all, thank you for the 60 stream streak. I appreciate that. I appreciate you being here for it's I know it's been more than 60 streams. It's been much more than that. So I appreciate you always being here, always hanging out, always nabbing first. It's been pure chaos. You had to take Chewy to the vet. He may have a UTI. They kept him to give him an IV. Oh my gosh. You like went away and came back to chaos. I'm so sorry that Chewy isn't doing well. Oh my goodness. That's not good. I'm so sorry. That is not what you wanted to come home to, I am sure. Were you able to see your niece on Sunday? Because I know you were gonna stop there on your way back on Sunday. That's sound good. It's not a blockage, so that's good. Okay. Okay. That is good. And I don't I don't know if I mean I'm gonna assume UTIs are similar in cats as they are in people, and that you just have to like do some antibiotics. But I hope he's okay. I hope you get him home soon. Oh, what a nightmare. You had a great time. I'm glad. I'm glad you had a great time. I'm glad at least like I'm sorry you had to come home to that. But at least at least it was a good weekend. So yeah. So it was really good to see Petal and to see Speckle and to spend time with them. It's been like ages since Petal had come up, so I was glad that she was able to come up. And Awen came and had lunch with us as well, and Awen hung out, and Pewin was around, you know, being a Pewin, but it was good. They want to be able to test the urine before they decide the treatment. That's fair and reasonable, it seems like. Are they keeping him overnight, or did they are they just gonna keep him like for the day? Man, our pets, they are a source of concern and worry, aren't they? They're just like kids. Like just like kids. Today we are crafting. So since we hit our $300 milestone for St. Jude, we're doing our crafting week this week. Just long enough to get in Tessa's year. Okay. That's good because, you know, overnight stays are not cheap, and not that the vet is cheap in the first place, but like you throw in them needing to stay overnight. So that's I'm glad that it's not anything more than that. But yeah, today we're crafting. So we're gonna be crafting all week. We're breaking out the snarky cross stitch. So we're gonna break that out. And I wanted to get the week of streams done. And I think this week is the only week of June that I'm gonna actually be able to stream like a normal schedule. So I figured this was the week to do this. So we're gonna craft this week. And then we'll be back to gaming next week. This clinic is on the pricier side to begin with. Okay. Yeah, so good. Very good. Your friend is there, so you need to sign off. Good luck, Petal. All right, enjoy time with your friend, Cece. Thank you for stopping in. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. So yeah, so we're gonna be crafting and yapping and chatting, and since we, can craft and yap and chat, we're gonna just go over here and go into it. Um, Super Sweetbot is active in chat, and we do have it, down there. If anyone wants to be adding tasks to the task list, it is exclamation point task and then exclamation point done. I know it's been a little while since we've had like Super Sweet going, so um, we'll uh we'll keep it there, keep it going if you want to. And we're working on our Snarky cross stitch today. That is our our task. We're gonna see how far we can get with finishing up this flower right here. The pattern is right there. If you want to look and see what it looks like and what we're aiming for. We've got the snark done. The snark is already on here, so we love that. We love the snark. And yeah, we're just gonna get into it and get going. Please do let me know if you're having a hard time seeing anything, or we need to like adjust cameras or anything like that, because I want to be able to, make sure you all can see what we're doing. This color that we're working on is a pretty light color. So there's not like a huge contrast with it with the fabric that I'm using. I'm kind of using an off-white fabric. Um, so yeah, so we're just gonna hang out. We're gonna craft. We can gab and yap if anyone wants to, or if we just wanna, be a little bit more focused and calm and chill and use it as a time to get things done, we can do that as well. I'm open for whatever is working for chat. Oh, Rasanda's here. Hi, Reese. Hi. Yeah, so Petal and Speckle got to like pet Reese. Like he came out. He was like wanting love and hugs and attention and pets. So he was gracing everyone with his glorious presence. Sam was about, but he was less like wanting people to touch him. He was kind of like, I let me just look at you from afar. That was Sam. Which is funny because Sam is a little bit more social in general. But he doesn't necessarily want to be touched. I think he is very much in that like teenage cat phase where he's just like, leave me alone. I don't want you around me. That is where I think Sam is. Speckle, welcome in. It's good to see you. How are you? I hope you're doing well. How did your hunt end up wrapping up last night? You just rolled out of bed, tended kitties, got coffee. Sounds good. Sounds good. Oh, I do have some Spotify going. I can change up the playlist if anyone wants um something specific. Like if we want to do like the Lord of the Rings soundtrack, or if we want to do like Disney hits or anything like that. Also, if the volume of that is like too low, too high, absolutely let me know too. All right. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna add a task. We're gonna say task finish 677 because that's the color that we're working on right now. We'll get some super sweet going. You like the two songs you've heard so far? Good. There's a variety of stuff that is on this playlist, by the way. 6 hours of sleep, all broken up, so feeling weary and groggy today. Hunt was fun, no dreamies so far. You also ran into Dina and Chevra and more villagers we talked about. Of course. Of course. See, no one listened to me. If people had listened to me, you would have found all your villagers. But no one liked my choices. No, we got Kit on the list. I know. I don't Flora I don't mind as much. Because I did suggest Flora. I was trying to go for like something like, ones that were slightly out of the out of the norm, right? Like Molly and Maple are super cute, right? But like everyone wants Molly and Maple. Like no shade on Molly and Maple, but like everyone wants them. So you're not about the ostriches. She's a pretty good one for an ostrich. She's tolerable. Yeah, some of the ostriches have grown on me. With all of the villager hunting that we've been doing for like Cobalt Cove and now like for my YouTube series, the some of the ostriches have grown on me. Flora has grown on me. And there's a couple other ones that have kind of grown on me. I never would have thought that the ostriches would grow on me, but they did. You love Flora. Flora is cute. You had Queenie be your final. Yeah, but that wasn't that just because like you were like done with it. And she was also tolerable. I don't mind Queenie. I don't mind Rio, I don't think, or Phoebe. Some of them have grown on me just from seeing them on the villager hunt. Same thing with Quinn the Eagle. I'm not as like horrified by Quinn as I once was. You could have done a couple more, but chat was very interested in Queenie, and she's purple. Yeah, and and honestly, you weren't gonna keep that island going anyway, so it's like okay, that's fine. We can have her. I'm not playing it. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I do want to get back to Cobalt Cove a little bit on stream so that we can finish the DLC. I'd like to get that finished and finish up the last little bit of like island decorating that I want to do. And then I feel like once we get the DLC done and I can like fix everybody's houses, um, I feel like I'll be ready to set a dream address for Cobalt Cove. I don't think I want to restart it right now though. Like maybe at some point, but not yet. The hunt itself was super fun. Maybe the most fun hunt you've done. You think it's because chat was involved in selecting dreamy choices, which made it less, okay, here's another island and more who will we get with? Yeah. Well, good. I'm glad that it was a fun stream and that you were enjoying it. That is most important of all. Very, very important. I just kind of enjoy dreamy hunts in general because I don't know. I just like them. I think they're fun. I like seeing all the different villagers because like if you don't do the dreamy hunts, you are only seeing like whoever autofills for you or like might be in your campsite or I guess now there's the hotel stuff. So I don't know. I just like getting to see all the different villagers. I think it's fun. I know it's maybe not everyone's cup of tea. I think bingo helps too. Although my bingo board for yours was garbage. I only ended up getting one. Oh, darn it. We're not that far into this and we've already got a knot. Of course. Already. There we go. I think there's even like a couple of aliases for that too. Yeah, 20 minutes into stream and we're already getting a knot. I'm off to a great start. I after I hopped off your stream, I got in bed and I was falling asleep. Welcome in, Patchwork Panda. Good morning. How are you? Welcome in, first time at Chatter. How are you? Thank you for stopping by. It is good to see you. I hope your Monday is off to a good start, and I hope you had a wonderful weekend. We are doing a crafting week this week, so we're hanging out, chatting, listening to some music, doing some cross stitch. We're snarky though. So we have been this it has been I think it's been like almost a year since we worked on this cross stitch. So I'm glad that we like I was like literally like brushing dust off the thing. I was like, man, we need to do this more often. But it's hard because there's so much I want to do and so little time to do it. So it has been a hot minute since we have done a crafting stream. And we're not just doing one, we're doing it all week long. This is the start of your weekend? Nice. Uh just got home from a doctor appointment and pulling out. You're welcome to the circus so along yourself. So if you figured maybe some co-working, absolutely. If you want to, I do have a co-working bot, the Super Sweet bot going. Um, if you want to like drop any tasks in it, exclamation point task will add one to the task list, which is down here below. And it can be anything. There is no issue with putting in like the silliest thing, like thread my needle if you want to. Like whatever you would like to use as a task, whatever works for you to give you that little serotonin boost, feel free. I put in that I want to finish the color I'm working on. I know, I love that little bot too. Thank you, Petal. It is like my favorite co-working bot. It is top notch. So yeah, so feel free to add any tasks that you would like. If it's, I mean, even if it's like, finish this part. And welcome to the circus. That sounds like it would be a fun one to do. And thank you for that follow. Welcome in and welcome to the community. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. Mac, welcome in. How are you? How is your Monday going? How was your weekend? I was saying I had a pretty good weekend because Speckle and Petalbrook came up and we had a friend day on Saturday, which was really good. It had been a while since we had been able to do that. Almost a year, I think. I think it had been like a almost a year since Petal had come up. Okay, this is the last one of this color, so I'm here for it. All right, perfect. Let's finish this guy off, and then we'll get our next color. Yeah, I think it was too. It was some very much needed front time. It absolutely was. It absolutely was. It's a cross stitch pattern, and the first clue just dropped Thursday. It's by the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery, and the first part is a little lion jumping through the hoop. Oh, he's such a lad. That sounds so cool and so cute. I need to look up the Frosted Pumpkin. I haven't looked at their stuff before. I'm curious now. I love finding good designers. I am kind of addicted to the tiny modernist. Um, I love her stuff. Oh, this is cute. Oh, I like this. These are some really cute. I'm gonna have to look at that more closely. Thank you for introducing me to a new cross stitch person. Yeah, they do have a very similar vibe. You're right. They do. Yeah, spending the afternoon with your niece and her partner and family, that was great too. I'm so glad. I'm glad that you were able to have a good weekend like that. I'm so glad. Okay, I am done with that, so then I'm gonna add task, finish, 38. Okay, there we go. We're gonna get our next color going here. Good lord, that's long. Weekend was okay. Helped your mom. Ah! Sorry, yo. With the BTS event she hosted and sold her stuff at. Now, Mary has opened one of his sigils last night, so you're keeping an eye on him. Ooh! I hope that that's all okay. And that you don't have to like do anything more with that. So, yeah. That's a little stressful. Was the event fun? Was it successful? Yeah, we had fun time. Fun time was great. And also Pewin was so excited that we didn't end up eating the charcuterie stuff that I got. He was very excited because then he got to eat it on on Sunday when he came home from his friend's house. Yeah, pretty much. Except for the little tiny round salamis and like the crackers. But the rolls are those are all gone. Like the rolled prosciutto and Genoa salami that I had. Yeah, those are gone. But to be fair, Awen and I also ate some of them. That's what we kind of did for lunch yesterday was we all kind of picked at the charcuterie stuff. But yeah, P1 was very excited about it. He wanted to eat it when I brought it home from the grocery store. You too, for now it's stable. The task is making sure he doesn't do more damage. Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, P-Win ended up going over to his friend's house later on Saturday. And we the rest of the time though, we just kind of annoyed him by our presence, I think. And like, well, sorry kid, you got a deal. But he wasn't too obnoxious. Yeah, so he went over to his friends and then he came home yesterday and he ended up taking a long nap because they don't sleep much when they're all together. So, but I tell you what, it is so nice that he can drive now and I didn't have to like go pick him up. So, I kind of loved that. You're not a fan of BTS, not to the point of the fan base. It's not your energy, but you're proud of your mom and her business. It makes her happy, so I'm happy. Excellent. Awen likes BTS a lot. Um, it's not really my style either. Um, but you know, everyone has their own tastes, and like you said, it makes if it makes them happy. Oh, I'm hitting the camera again. If it makes them happy, then that's great. That is what you know. I feel like for me, something cannot be to my enjoyment, but if it's like someone that I care about and they're getting enjoyment out of it, then I can like absolutely also take enjoyment from that, you know? Like it's okay. That's, my thought. Just because it's not my cup of tea doesn't mean I can't be excited that there's someone else's. But I get it. Yeah, when you said BTS, I wasn't sure if you meant the the K-pop band or if you were like if it was something else. It is the tricky part with acronyms, right? I'm not even sure what it stands for. Like their version. Like their Also, I think my lawn guy might be here. So if you hear lawn mowing background noise, I apologize. Because I can hear lawn mowing and I think it's my lawn guy. Which is good because I had some weeds getting a little long in my grass. I don't know that I have a good strategy for stitching this color. You like the music, just don't really care about following what members. Oh, right. Honestly, that's kind of how I feel about a lot of, well, about music in general. Like, I just let me enjoy the music. I don't need to like know the full life story of as long as they're not a terrible person and, doing horrible things, then just let me enjoy the music. Your mom and your aunt get into a conversation and it's motor mouth. That's got it. Yeah. That can be a little bit make you feel a little like okay, you just kind of no we're mobile is not great. Yeah, it's like sometimes you just have to not like smile and nod. Be like, that's great. I have no idea what you're talking about. There we go. I don't know why sometimes mobile doesn't do emotes. Yep, my lawn guy's here. I am so sorry, y'all. That's how you are with music. It's good to have as background, it's good to have on stream, but honestly, you'd never choose to listen to music outside of those things. You'd rather have an audiobook. Yeah, I tend to listen to an audiobook for most other things. Sometimes, but there are times where like I don't really have the focus to listen to an audiobook, and so I'll turn on music because like I don't need to necessarily be paying attention. So we so then I'll turn music on. But I always have I do always have an audiobook, and I always have like a read book. You don't even listen to music in the car anymore? Yeah, sometimes I listen in the car. And a lot of that is because like if I'm not able to focus, like sometimes I'm not able to focus on an audiobook. You find you only have focus for audiobooks in the car. I do listen to a lot of audiobooks in the car. But like for example, if I'm just like driving to Meyer to pick up my groceries, I probably won't turn on an audiobook because it's like a 5-minute drive. But I might just let NPR play because that's like what I listen to most of the time. I am old, and I listen to the news. I listen to NPR. Although to be fair, I have listened to NPR for a long time. Even when I was in college, I listened to a lot of NPR. But yeah, for short drives like that, it's like, well, it feels like there isn't a point to um, listening. You'd likely have music for the 5-minute drive. Just yeah. But I do often have audiobooks on. I like audiobooks a lot for cross stitching. I can knit, and if like I'm using my Kindle, I can knit and read a book. But I cannot cross stitch and read a book. So I do like audiobooks a lot for cross stitching. You and your bestie are driving to Disney next year, and you've decided to drive the 16 hours. You did a mini trip and found some audiobooks. A great way to keep the long time going. So you're excited. Nice. I mean, depending on what audiobook you listen to, that could just be one audiobook. Or for one way. Or it could be one audiobook for oh wait, oh shoot, that's not where that not a stitch there. Most of your drives are 10 minutes plus, so you get at least a chunk of the story normally. Yeah. You're listening to one now called The Bookshop Ladies. It's another wholesome book. Characters are later in life. It's not magical fantasy or romance, but more warm, found family, wholesome, little drama, but super warm. Ah, I'm so sorry. I keep banging into this. That's good. I I'm listening to something I can't remember the name of. Hold, let me look. The Isle in the Silver Sea, which is an LGBTQ book that checks off one of my bookmarks on Goodreads. And I don't love it. I wanted better from this book. And the reader is like they speak very low, like they're very quiet. So I can't listen at like 1.5 speed like I normally would. I because I can't understand them, and I have to have like the volume cranked up because they talk so quietly. So not loving that. The one you finished before that is Eddie Winston is Looking for Love. Eddie is 90 and never been kissed. He works at a cherry shop in England, and the characters are just lovely. That sounds cute. You like to kind of pick away at the book throughout the drive, shorter drives, and then you get a long couple hour drive, and then all of a sudden you're 2 books down. Yeah, that would do it. Hi, Jem. Welcome in. I can't listen at 1.5 at any book. 2 is your preference. I've gotten, it takes some getting used to. Sometimes I do 1.75. Um, it just depends. And welcome in, Jem. How are you? How was your weekend? It's good to see you. I hope your Monday is off to a good start. Thank you for the lurk. You gotta listen at just fast enough to where your ADHD won't get off track. Awen will listen at like 2 times speed sometimes. That's a little bit fast for me. That's too much. But this one I'm having to listen to at like 1.25, and I'm not real happy about it. And then I'm reading, like my book that I'm reading. I'm reading The Poet Empress, which I'm pretty early in it, but I'm liking it so far. You'll learn you type quick and sometimes mistype because you overtype for yourself. That's okay. We're pretty good at reading typo. Lots of people on mobile, fat finger, bad speech to text stuff. Don't worry at all. So, if there's something I don't quite get, I'll ask. I'll be like, "Can you? I'm not sure what this is." There was a Stephen King one that was so slow, you had to listen it to 2.5 just to keep focused on it. Yeah. I listened to this was years and years ago. I listened to The Mists of Avalon, which was so boring. Oh, that book was like painful. And I've listened to that at 2x speed because I just wanted it over. I was like, it was for a book club and I was not enjoying it and I just wanted it to end. So I listened to it at 2x speed because I couldn't. I couldn't. Sometimes it's a narrator too. Oh, yeah, no, same. Absolutely. Some narrators you definitely have to speed up. Others, like some I need to be at a higher speed. Some can't be at a higher speed. Like I said, this one that I'm listening to right now, I can't do a higher speed because I can't understand them very well. So I have to do a lower speed. Otherwise, I'm missing too much. Right. Yeah, and sometimes I can't with a reader. And I'm like, nope, I can't do this one. Although I find that it has to be like I'm good with most readers. But occasionally one will pop up and I'm like, nope, can't do it. Like Awen, there was a book that Awen wanted me to listen to. Awen is my daughter, by the way. For those of you who don't know, um, we refer to my children affectionately as Awen and Pewin. So if you hear me referring to them, those are my kids. So there was a book that she wanted me to listen to, and we started listening to it together in the car, and I was just like, I can't, like, this voice makes my skin crawl. Like, I cannot listen to this guy. Yeah, I know you said it sounds like Alexa to you, but I didn't hear that. Which I don't know. And it's a really, really good book too. You think your biggest pet peeve is when halfway through a series they change the reader to a new reader? No, I know what you mean. They did that with ACOTAR. The reader of the first two ACOTAR books was someone different than the last ACOTAR book. And it was like, it was so jarring when I went to listen to the third book. So yeah, I agree. Please keep the reader consistent throughout a series. That's the one you're referring to? It was so jarring. Like it was such a like jarring change. And then they pronounce things differently too. So yeah, nope. That one was really jarring for me. Eventually you'll get to reading the physical book, but right now you're reading Silver Flames up to chapter 25. And once you're done with that, you'll be listening to Crescent City. On your Kindle, you're reading Elizabeth Wheatley, but you only read your Kindle when you're on a work trip. Got it. Yeah, a Kindle is a little bit easier to bring with you than a physical book, especially a Silver Flame, which is like a tome. So, yeah. I feel like I'm gonna need to do a reread of ACOTAR with the next book coming out. And I do not want to reread Silver Flame. Um, but it's not, and it's like, and of those 700 pages, 450 are smut. Oh, you're reading Kingdom of Ash? Oh, oh, bless you, my child. Good luck. Get tissues. Keep tissues on hand. Kingdom of Ash will destroy you. So good, though. So, so good. But Kingdom of Ash is a little rough. That's what so I had to do that, Petal, when the third Crescent City book came out. I had to do that because I totally missed like the major plot point. Totally missed it. I was like, I don't remember this happening. And I had to go back and read a synopsis of Silver Flame to catch up on it. It's so worth it though. Do you want me to call you Panda? Is that okay, or do you want me to call you something else? It's so worth it. It is so like Throne of Glass, in my opinion, is the best Sarah J. Maas series. It is the best. I haven't read any of the Dandruff books yet. Um, my TBR is just monstrous. So you agree? Yeah, it's just like I don't know. It's the way like she's able to like so like I don't know, everything is so interconnected and it's just really well done in my opinion. So it's a slow burn. Like it definitely is a slower burn than like ACOTAR is. And then that can put some people off. But it is worth every second. Okay. I think with this I'm gonna start maybe working my way around this way. Actually, wait. I'm gonna go there. I don't know if you guys can even like see the difference in color there. Oh, I guess you kind of can if I get close. It's like a very subtle difference in the yellows. A little hard to see. I finished on Friday Project Hail Mary. which was like, it was okay, but nothing spectacular. A lot of, I apologize again. That now he's like he's blowing the grass clippings around. Um, I there was just like way too much technical stuff in the writing. Like it was a little bit much. Like I don't need to have like a breakdown of like thermodynamics in my book. I'm so sorry. He'll be done soon. Oh, yeah, it does. And it did need it, so fortunately my lawn is small, so it doesn't take him like all that long to do. So there's that. Yeah, so those are my current reads. I also really am getting the itch to read Lord of the Rings again. To like read The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings again. Because it's been a while since I've read them. So I'm kind of getting the itch to do it. You were very interested in Dandruff, but you want to read the Wolf one. You're annotating one of those for a friend. You know what? I was like, okay, I'm gonna like work on learning on annotating books, and I was doing great for a little while, and now I've just kind of stopped completely. I think I just don't want to put that much effort into my reading. I just want to read, especially because like I'm reading is like my unwind activity at night, and I don't need to be annotating stuff while I'm trying to like unwind. Like, so I think I'm okay with the fact that that just isn't in my bookworm personality. And I don't think it makes me any less of a bookworm or a reader because I don't, annotate my books. You had a suite mate in college make cross stitch things like that and put them up in the dorm. Inspections came, and the head of the building just looked at the art and looks at the woman and asked, "Can I pay you to make something for me?" I love that. Yeah, Awen got me for Christmas one year a whole bunch of like snarky patterns. This is the first one that we worked on. Um, but I have a bunch of them. Did you, Awen, or Petal? Awen and I did. They were terrible. They were so bad. No time, and then you forgot about it by the time you had. Petal, did you ever start yours? Yeah, not. It was like I felt like I was reading a book written for like a 12-year-old. It was just I know they're like labeled as young adult. These are not young adult reads. These are definitely like intermediate readers. It is not like the quality like no. It's like intermediate. It's just not good. Yeah, ours were not good. I think Awen's was worse than mine. She complained a lot. Mine was I don't know that I would call it bad, but it wasn't good. And yeah, I don't know that I want to read more. And I'm really disappointed because the concept is amazing. The execution was not good. You had tons of people telling, yeah, I don't agree. I have read so many better retellings. Um, and I don't know, maybe I'm just snooty with my books. but I did not, or maybe it was just Awen and I both ended up with complete flops, but yeah. And like I said, really was disappointed with it because like it's such a great concept. We're talking about the Twisted Tales for anyone who, because they're for bring people up to speed on this conversation. But they're like supposed to be like retellings of like Disney stories. Um, so that is what we are talking about. Yeah. Um, Other retelling books you are read, Kenda Merritt, she retells the fairy tales. Oh yeah, I remember you talking about those. I mean, okay, they're very very spicy and smutty, but Katie Robert does really good retellings. Um, they're very spicy though, like very very spicy, but they're really good. They're really well done. See, and I love a good retelling. Like I love a good retelling. And when it falls short, like I am really disappointed. All right, we do have an ad break that is going to be coming up pretty soon. How do I have no snoozes? What happened to all my snoozes? So we do have an ad break that's going to come in just a few minutes. I use the ad breaks as self-care breaks, so I always encourage everyone to engage in some self-care, to get up, to stretch, to move around, to do whatever you need to do while those ads play. And I use that as a self-care break as well. Poor baby's bladder was full of red blood cells. They're thinking it's stress cystitis, so he's gonna get some calming medicine. Oh, poor baby. Poor Chewy. Mine doesn't. Weird. Twitch be twitching. Not that I need to snooze it, but because I was like, I haven't snoozed an ad in a hot minute. Okay, I think I don't want to keep fighting with this floss, so we're gonna seal this floss off right here. Twitchy glitchy, it is. And snip this. All right, here's our progress so far. I'm gonna mark off on the pattern where we are. I mean, 93 stitches for the first hour, not too bad, not too bad. You haven't cross stitched in forever and you think you're in a lull for fiber arts right now. Well, what if you broke out your cross stitch again? Don't do your temperature thing. Find another find a cute pattern that's small that makes you excited, that like makes you excited to work on. I mean, that's fan. That's fair. I go through spurts. I always do something, but I go through spurts where I'm more into it than others. Diamond art is about it right now. Well, hey, that works. Diamond art just kills my back and shoulders. That's my only problem with that. Um, we lost. You love the diamond art bookmarks you got? Yeah, that was pretty. Those feel like a manageable size too. Yeah, diamond art just kills my back and shoulders. Cause like I'm hunched over. And I'm kind of hunching right now. I need to like put my shoulders back. Also, for me too, what I work on really depends on how like the fatigue is. When I'm really fatigued, I cannot cross or I can't knit or crochet but I can usually cross stitch. That isn't as fatiguing for me. You're a huncher too. Yeah, I'm like, oh, I gotta catch myself and like pull my shoulders back. But I am gonna get up and stretch in just a minute here, so that will also help. So make sure everyone else is engaging in self-care. You know, if we're working on crafts, do some stretching of your shoulders, your hands, things like that. All important. Get up and move around if you need to. Get the blood flowing. You're pretty brain dead, so crafting stream is the perfect background while you read email and let your brain wake up. Perfect. We're we're gonna be doing it all week this week. So it's gonna be good, chill background stuff. And I can make some progress on we can make some progress on this bad boy. All right, that ad is gonna play, so I'm gonna take a quick break, get up, stretch, move around. I encourage you all to do the same thing during that ad break, and we will be back in a few minutes when that ad break is over. Back. Thank you all for sticking around during that ad break. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. We will get back to our snarky cross stitch. Get back into it. There we go. Let's do that. So yeah, I have like I do not expect at all that we will like finish this cross stitch this week, but I'd like to make a good dent in it, you know. So I would take that. So yeah, I have a full coverage heaven and earth design piece that I'm working on. It's for their yearly stitch along, and I have zero delusions that I will finish this monstrous thing in a year. But if you finish 6 pages, then during the year, then you get like all of the patterns that were part of the stitch along. So I kind of that so that is my goal. And like that is completely reasonable for me to do. And also like still work on other projects because like I get bored working on just one. I need to change it up. I have like little like games that I play with myself for like deciding like what piece I'm gonna work on next and how much I'm gonna work on it and all of that because I just find myself I'll just like get distracted with it and it keeps things interesting and it keeps things going for me. You know, sometimes the mental gymnastics to keep it moving forward is necessary. It is probably like the ADHD, but it works. And that's cross stitch patterns. I tend to be a lot more monogamous when it comes to knitting. So knitting, I'll work on the same project until it's done, and then I move on to the next one. Occasionally, if I have like a like I always have socks going. So sometimes if I have a bigger project that I'm working on, like I'll have my socks and my bigger project, but I always have socks because they're portable, they're my on-the-go knitting. So like this spring when Pewin had track meets, I had socks with me that I was working on and knitting because oh my god, track meets are the worst. Um, and like same thing when he's swimming, I bring socks and work on socks swim meets as well. So there's always socks. Cross stitch isn't quite as portable as um as knitting socks is. About track meets being the worst, they are the absolute worst. They're the worst thing ever. I go because I love my child and I support him and all that he does. But boy, am I not a fan. They're just kind of long and boring. At least he's like a middle distance and distance runner and not a sprinter. So when he runs, it's for like a couple of minutes as opposed to like sprinters who run for like, 15 seconds and then they're done. So there's that at least. And this year the weather wasn't as bad. Last year, every single meet, the weather was awful. It was just like miserable. But this year the weather was decent, so I could complain a little less this year than last year, but I'm still complaining. I still complained about it. Our little like town here does usually does like a summer track that's like open to anyone in the community. And I think he was talking about doing that, but I have not seen any information coming up on it. He is swimming this summer and still trying to find a job. But he hasn't had good luck with jobs. But he also just turned 16. So that's also a bit of a factor. Uh, And Awen is hoping that she's starting her diving program back up, but she's still like waiting to hear from her boss as to whether or not that's happening. But she's really looking forward to being able to. She's going to be lifeguarding quite a bit this summer. So she's looking forward to being able to like get back into all of that because she had hip surgery in March. So we've been she's been recovering from that and she wasn't able to like do her coaching and stuff. So it'll be good for her to get that back because she just lights up when she's coaching. I love it. I love seeing it. So it'll be good to have that back for her. And I'm just here doing my best to get through the days. Sorry, I just like was like spacing out there. I apologize. I apologize for spacing out a little bit there. I so I had decided because Awen and I have been playing D&D down at our little like gaming lounge here in town. And I had it was making me like want to start another Baldur's Gate save. So I have done that. So I've started a new Baldur's Gate save. But like I'm so my thing is like for an hour like in the morning I give myself like an hour to play Baldur's Gate and then I'm done. Um maybe like slightly more or less, just kind of depending on like where I am and like the progressing of things. Like if I'm coming up to a part where I know there's gonna be like a big fight, I'm like, okay, um I'm gonna just stop now because like I don't want to be in the middle of a fight and then like be like, okay, well, it's time to be done. So today I I just did dumb stuff. And basically, my whole hour worth of playtime today, I forgot to save, like when I should have saved. And my whole hour's worth of playtime this morning is basically come to nothing. And I'm just gonna have to like redo it all again tomorrow. Because like I I messed up, I did stupid things, and then I was like, oh shoot. And then I went back and I was like gonna replay it. And I did. I replayed part of it. And then I went back to my camp because I was gonna like switch out one of the my party members. Gail had a quest or had like a thing he wanted to talk to me. So I talked to Gail, accidentally clicked the wrong button and told Gail to leave. And then I was like, oh, I don't want Gail to leave. So I didn't save, and so basically I have to redo the whole thing all over again. And I guess some days they just be like that. But yeah. Yeah, I know, right? I was just like, I was just done. And it was my own fault because I didn't save. But I thought it auto saved. So I didn't save because I thought it was auto saving. And then it did not auto save. And it didn't auto save, and then I got into a fight when I should have long rested before the fight. And then I died. Like everyone died. My whole party died. And I was like, oh, okay. And that's when I learned it didn't save. So I was like, are you kidding me? So I'm like, all right, we're gonna redo it. And then I redid it, and then I accidentally told Gail to leave. I was like, oh, I don't really like Gale all that much, but sometimes he has some like good stuff that I want him for certain fights for. And yeah. So we're gonna redo it all tomorrow. It's all gonna get redone tomorrow. But it's all good. I love that game. So I'm not like I'm frustrated, but like I'm not gonna like rage quit over it. I'm usually much better about saving than that too, and for whatever reason, I just didn't. It's Monday. We'll blame it on it being Monday. And that, I had a good but full weekend that perhaps impacted my brain. That's what we're gonna go with on that one. As to why I did the dumb. And I did the dumb. And the reason that I'm limiting myself to an hour is because first of all, like a playthrough of Baldur's Gate is like it's a lot of hours. Like easily 100 hours for like one playthrough. And so I'm like, okay. And you can get sucked in really easily. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to give myself an hour. I've already finished, like I've played the game. I've beat the game. I've done the whole story. Like I know what's going on. So like I don't have that compulsion where I'm like, "Oh, I need to find out what happens. I need to get to the end." So I don't have that. So I feel like I'm in a good place to just like take it easy and go slow and like it's okay. And so that's what I've been doing. And honestly, it has, and I've been able to stick with it and not like, overdo. And then I think too that also helps me not get burnt out because as we know, I'll go like all in on something on a game and like and then I burn myself out. So I'm trying to be very conscientious of that. Like with Animal Crossing, when I went back like big into Animal Crossing, I was like, okay, I am not going to obsessively play this because I don't want to burn myself out. I want to like finish decorating my island completely because I've never done that before because I always burn myself out and get bored. So I was like, I don't want to do that this time. And I was successful. I'm also trying to do that with Palia because I definitely burnt myself out with Palia when it first came out. And and then I didn't play it for like 2 years. And then I picked it back up again about a year ago. And so I try to just like play in shorter increments to keep myself from like burning out. It can be really hard to do that. So it does take a little bit of discipline, but I'm doing okay with it. You think paleo for you is more rage quitting, but you also get bored if you don't have quests. Yes. That's why I like the bulletin boards because it gives me something to do. But like Awen was saying, we will definitely go all in on like the bulletin boards and like there was one of them that we had the whole bulletin board done like and the update hadn't even been out for a week. The bulletin board and dailies are definitely a good addition. When you rage quit, those did not exist. Yeah, those have only been, I think it's maybe been a year. Like they added them in a year ago. So they haven't been back, they haven't been in the game very long, but yes. You finish the current one within 4 days. Yeah. But you also will go on like hour-long play streaks. I can't do that. I get too distracted. And like and then I get bored and I want to do something else. So so I am still working on the current one. I need to farm iron all day long for that bulletin board for the stupid um furniture. It's your relaxation, but to be fair, yeah, I do. I can't sit at the PC. And honestly, you know what though? The truth is, when I play Palia, a lot of times I do it on my laptop. So like when we were playing, was that Friday that we were catch catching crabs that we didn't need? Um, I was on the couch, reclined on the couch, and I can play a little bit longer with that, like, but it does still fatigue me. So I can play a little bit longer that way than sitting at the PC. And I do find paleo relaxing. I enjoy it quite a bit. And I'm glad I decided to like pick it back up again. I restarted my character though when I picked it back up again cuz I didn't remember anything and I logged in with my character and I was so confused and I didn't remember anything and I felt so overwhelmed that I was like I'm just going to do a restart. So I had to contact their customer support to delete my character and then remake my character. And I honestly I'm glad that I did that because it let me get back into it and like remember everything. So that was a good choice for me. And like I had things unlocked, but it wasn't like a ton of stuff. So like I didn't really feel like I was losing very much to redo it all. So it was a good for me that was a good choice. It might not be for everybody, but for me it definitely was. I think we're gonna get to the next color. Well, the next, it's still gonna be yellow. It's still gonna be yellow because this flower is all yellow. But I think it'll get darker, so it might be a little bit easier to see. This color is slightly easier to see than the color we were doing before, but it's still kind of hard to see. I think I'm gonna need a new floss though here in just a second because we're starting to get a little short. I will say with the nice thing about cross stitch floss is because it's pretty like reasonably priced, I don't feel the need to like get every inch out of it like I do with yarn. So I can be like, yeah, this is the annoying amount that's left over. Like, could I do a few stitches with this amount? Yes. But it would just be annoying. So I'm just gonna get a new strand going. And I do not feel guilty about doing that. Now yarn ah, see, like we may be redoing this one because something weird happened there. Yeah, floss chicken is definitely different than fancy yarn chicken. You're trying to be like that too. Sometimes it's difficult to change the habit. And, oh, for sure, it is. To say, I don't need to save this tiny scrap because I might want it for something someday. Okay, we'll finish this stitch and then we're gonna get a new piece. Ah, there are people who are stitching up the all one other pieces with leftover threads they have. Those pieces. I now that I could see that being interesting. Like that could be interesting. Like because like with knitting like you or crochet you've got like scrappy projects like um a scrappy floss project that could be cool. If you can't wrap it securely around the cardboard bobbin then it's not worth keeping 100%. There's one piece in particular that's being stitched that way. Are you doing that or is it someone else? We do, by the way, and no, there is never any pressure for this. Never ever any pressure. Um, but we do have a Discord if you are interested. When we do share arts and crafts, it's a very quiet Discord. But there are places to share projects, and I do love seeing what people are working on. Whether it's a craft I do or not, I do very much love to see what people are up to. And again, there is never ever any pressure whatsoever to join, but it is there if you ever want to share some of the things that you're working on, because I do love to see it. I need to be better about posting stuff. But as I have said many a time, I am not good at Discord. I try, but I'm just not good at it. I get distracted, I forget about it. I should be better about posting, at least posting what I'm working on. Because crafting to me, especially since I've become disabled, it like makes me feel like I have something to offer. Um, wait, what am I doing? So if I'm able to craft and like make something with my hand, I feel like there is productivity happening there, even if I don't do anything. Um, so I feel like there's some sort of productivity. I appreciate that offer. It's less about being bad at like knowing what to do. It's more of being bad about actually posting. But I do appreciate the offer, and I will remember that if I encounter something I need some help with. No, it's more of just like I not posting. That's more of my problem. Yes. Yes, it is attention based, not skill based. Exactly. And I go through periods where like I'll be more active than others. So, yeah. I like Discord. I think it's a great tool. So I do like it. I just don't use, although I think the search feature of Discord sucks. And I every time I struggle to use like the to like be able to search through a channel to find what I want. Um like just let me search for a keyword. Don't make me have to like put in other parameters. Like I don't want to search for like I mean, I guess sure sometimes you might want to search for what somebody posted. But like I just want to I like when you're in like a game Discord, right? And you want to like search through like bug reports or whatever, or see like what other people have been like, if anybody has had this similar issue that you've had, is there a workaround? Man, searching for that is terrible. It's fantastic to keep in contact with people. It has its perks and it has things that could be improved. It's a good platform for what it needs to be. I agree. And that it's free, right? Like I remember back when I first started playing like MMOs, and you had to have Ventrilo servers if you wanted to do voice chat with each other, and everyone like you had to have like a vent server, and that cost money. Or TeamSpeak, yep. Yeah, either vent or TeamSpeak. And those cost money. So it was a matter of like, okay, who in the guild has one of those servers that like we can get in together. But now with Discord, it's like, okay, just join the Discord and in you go. Or um, like I have a friend that will watch that lives in another state and we'll get in a Discord call and like watch like a show together. Which is nice. The only thing that stinks about that is I have to do it on my PC. I can't do it from like a tablet. So I have to sit at my PC, and I do not enjoy sitting at my PC watching things because it's just not it's not as comfortable for me and I can't do it as long. Auto mod. Seriously. Why are we blocking stuff? I have no filtering turned on for profanity, and yet it still does it. And I don't want to turn off auto mod completely because it will catch bots from time to time. But like honestly, yeah, if I look, I have profanity. No filtering for profanity. What if I just turn, I have like less filtering for some things. What if I just turn all of that off? Then are you gonna stop being stupid? Okay. It's so bad. I honestly do not understand it. I don't understand it. Yeah, Siri, I just basically turned off everything. The one thing I like that it does is it'll tell you like a suspicious user. So, hi Asuna, welcome in. How are you? How has your weekend been? How's your Monday going? I hope you're doing well. Yeah, we'll see if doing that fixes it. And then it also doesn't like you know how it'll like hold comments for moderation and then you can approve them. It will not let me approve them. It just automatically tells me it's expired. So I don't understand why Automod is being so bad. So, and yeah, SiriBot does a good job of catching the spam bots. Not as good though at catching the people who come in trying to sell their stuff. Although I feel like my radar for that has gotten pretty good. Because they have like a pattern in how they come in and start like talking about stuff. You're good, you're working on a puzzle. Nice. I enjoy puzzles. We can't really do puzzles anymore because of the cats. Because they would see a puzzle piece and think that, oh, that's a fun toy. Allow me to bat that across the house. And there is nothing worse than working on a puzzle and getting to almost the end and realizing you're missing a singular piece. Like that is the worst. The absolute worst. But between Rysand and Samwise, be bad. They're pretty good at leaving my yarn alone. Although Rysand will try to like pull yarn stuff out of my basket. He'll like stick his little paw in there and like grab it. Because he has all of the toes. So many toes. So many toes. I think I bumped my camera enough that my angle is being like weird now. See if that's a little bit better. That's slightly better. I did I changed a couple of things with my camera setup. So hopefully it's working okay for you all and you can see relatively clearly. It's not the greatest camera, but hopefully you're able to see fairly well what I'm working on here. I gave up on that other camera that I had bought for this, and I've kind of gone back to my original, because the other one I bought, it was supposed to be like it had all these like great ratings, but it was just a pain in the ass, and I didn't feel like it was the quality that I wanted it to be. So we are back to the original one, and it looks like it looks okay if I'm looking at my stream display. All right, we are coming down towards the end of this color. I've done a lot of it. Okay, let's come up here. Have a quick drink. Oh, I dropped some frames there for a second. Okay, but it looks like I'm good. Am I good? I think I'm good. And I'm not dropping frames anymore, so we should be stable. That could be a matter of P-Win doing something and causing some issues. Because he is now home for the summer. So I've been kind of looking at my calendar, y'all, for like planning out the week of streams. And I think that's probably gonna have to wait until July, maybe even into August. Because I have or the kids have like appointments every week for the rest of June. So the week of streams will be a little bit delayed, but it will be coming. Also, anyone who was getting a handwritten thank you, that has all been mailed out. Same thing with if you were getting like stickers or anything, that has all been sent out or hand delivered. In the case of Petal and Speckle, they were hand delivered. So that stuff is all on the way. From our St. Jude fundraiser. May felt like it went by really fast. And like, how are we in June already? And already like a week into June. It's crazy how fast time tends to go. But May did feel like it flew by. Time is just a concept. It is. Because boy, it does seem to slip by without realizing it. And then when it does that when you don't want it to. And then when you would like it to go a little faster, it drags. It's funny because it doesn't feel like your birthday is basically 2 weeks. Yeah, that's how it goes. Also, happy early birthday. I know, it's crazy. Well, my Pwin, my son, turned 16 in April. And I'm just like, how? How? And then my daughter, Awen, she'll be 21 in September. I'm like, I'm not that old. How did I get to be this old? How did that happen? How am I old enough to have both of my kids driving? Do you have any birthday plans, Panda? I streamed on my birthday because my birthday is in May, and because my birthday is in May, and it's also when the St. Jude Play Live happens. So every year, instead of like, I don't do anything for my birthday, but I raise money for St. Jude for the whole month of May. So that's what I do. You're off and on Lurky, woke up with no worries. Totally fine. I get it. I get it all too well. So yeah, make sure you're taking care of yourself, Speckle. I appreciate it. This is a pretty low key chill stream, so we should be all good. So no worries. All right, we are almost done with this color. So we're gonna get to get a new one. June hits every year, and you're like, it's already June? How's it almost my birthday? It's almost like a mid-year crisis every year. Your fiance is taking you out to a sushi restaurant. You went on your first date. It was recently renovated. Oh, that's so cute. He's been acting suspicious. You don't know if there's more, but you'll see. That is adorable. That sounds nice. I I don't do sushi very often, because I am allergic to shellfish. And that's, I know like shrimp is in a lot of sushi, and I have to, it's like I need to make sure that if I am going to get sushi, I'm able to communicate effectively um with like the people to make sure that there's no cross contamination. So like I generally don't do sushi. I've had it before. Like I've had like salmon sushi, or like mahi mahi sushi, and I enjoyed it. But it's one of those things that it's like it's almost the risk of cross contamination is pretty high, and it's not really worth that risk. All right, we have finished this color. So we're gonna move on to the next one. I need to see if I have that on a bobbin or if I need to make a bobbin for it. I don't know with this number. Oh, well, I threw that one on the floor. So that one will wait to get put away. All right, 728. I do have that. And it is like, it's a bit of a darker yellow. So this will be our next color on our flower here. This is kind of a gross mess. So we'll have to deal with that. Right here. You don't do any fish when you go out for sushi yourself. You're much more like teriyaki, fruit rolls, and such, but you do understand the allergy and cross contamination worry when it's so present in a rest. Yeah, yeah, exactly. So, like I would never get like, because like our grocery store will have like in the deli area they'll have like sushi. I would never get it from there because like I just, it's just that is way too much of a risk for me. And honestly, like I liked, like I enjoyed sushi, but I didn't like love it. So it's not like so I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything, you know? There are plenty of other wonderfully delicious food out there. So, all right, I can finish my task because we finished that color. I don't know. Let's see if we can finish the next color. We're doing 728. Your fiance goes all out. He does the weird stuff. You tried it. You're very much of a texture person. Things like octopus are too chewy. That's fair. I'm like some things I'm a texture person, but something, but like it's not like bad. I think the texture of octopus would get me. I think that one would get to me. Slimy is not a texture that I want. So I don't want slimy. I don't want like overly chewy either. So certain textures get me. So no judgment on that because I completely understand it. We went when Puddle and Speckle were over on Saturday. We went out for Mexican. And I do love Mexican. I feel like I can always eat Mexican. And we had margaritas. It was great. You felt like you had to chew through rubber. Ugh. Ugh. I'm willing to try most things as long as they're not shellfish. I'm willing to try most things. Welcome in, Morton Salt Girl. How are you? I hope you're doing well. I hope your Monday is off to a good start. Welcome, welcome. It was so good. I love our little Mexican place here in town. It's so delicious. And so easy to like eat too much and make yourself miserable if you're not careful. It is, you finally got back home. You've been out of town for the past few days. Nice. I hope it was a good trip. We are we're doing a crafting week this week. It was one of our incentives for St. Jude. So all week it is we will be crafting on our Snarky craft strip here. It was work. Oh, okay. Well, work trips are their own brand of travel. Well, welcome home. I'm glad you made it back home. I'm sure it feels really good to be back home, especially if it was a work trip. And I'm glad that you were stopping by. So we do have an ad that's going to be playing in a few minutes here. So we will do our self-care break time when that ad plays. So I will take a break, stretch, move my body a little bit. I encourage you all to do the same as well. And then when the ad break is over, we'll be back and do more cross stitch. 1,000% good. So it's like that first night back in your own bed is amazing. Oh, thank you. I'm glad that you're loving the vibes. We try to keep it pretty chill and cozy around here. I mean, occasionally we get a little unhinged and chaotic. But who doesn't? But I try to keep us with a chill, calm, positive atmosphere where people feel comfortable to just come in and be who they are. And I'm glad that you're here. Welcome in. Uh-oh, Awen needs a cuddle. Needs a cuddle. This is my daughter, Awen, who makes her appearance on stream and occasionally takes over. And it gets a little chaotic when Awen takes over. Just a little bit. Oh, I think that was Petal. That was Petal. Awen really enjoyed talking books with you, Petal. Like a lot. She enjoyed it quite a bit. She said, "Oh, I wish Petal lived closer and we could see her more because I really liked talking books with her." I'm fleeing. Hold on. It was great. It was much needed. There are Awen quotes. There are a lot of Awen quotes in there from when Awen streamed The Sims. There is. I don't know, what would we have you play now and be chaotic? Since we don't do The Sims on stream anymore. Oh god, I just got quoted.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, like I don't know what we would do.
But nothing like gives me quite the amount of like room for
For chaos is The Sims.
yeah.
But EA is icky right now.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe forever, I don't know. It still makes me sad. So I don't, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what we would have Awen play. I don't know, maybe would you get annoyed at Animal Crossing? Get unhinged with I don't know how unhinged Animal
I
Crossing
was
can
gonna
really
say,
get.
how much I can be unhinged with that. What do I do? Um,
I mean, we play Paleo, but you play Paleo with me on stream. I mean, it wouldn't have to necessarily be something I play on stream.
It's true.
What do you, maybe not Roblox.
No.
Oh, there is that ad. All right, we're gonna take a quick break, and I'll be back when that ad break is over. Engage in some self-care. We'll be back in a few minutes. All right, I am back. Thank you all for sticking around during that ad break. Exit P-Win stage left. He was in here laying on my bed. He's like, oh, nope, I'm out. I'm out. He came in asking what's for dinner, which is pretty par the course for Pwin. Sam was laying under the bed. Now he is out. And ignoring Awen's attempt to get his attention. Oh my goodness. And then life just happens around you, and there's not much you can do about it. Uh-huh. Awen was searching for cats but could not find any cats. But then Sam was under the bed. I don't know where Sam is at. Probably downstairs in a wall. We have an old like stone and dirt floor. Well, it's not, the floor isn't dirt. The floor does have concrete on it. Like a stone walled basement, and they like to go into the wall where like the crawl spaces are. They like to get in there and catch critters. And then sometimes bring said critters upstairs. So we've had quite an interesting array of creatures left upstairs because of those two. Yes, cats. I have two. Um, there is Rysand, who is our oldest. Oh, I guess I don't have his photo up on this one. On this scene. I thought I did. Apparently I do not. So I'll come over here. There it is. That's Rysand. So he is our oldest cat. We've had him for about 4.5 years. Slow mode, maybe. And then this is Samwise, who we've had for about a year. So those are our two cats. We love them. They're gremlins. They are a pair. They are quite the pair. Rysand is like afraid of everything. Sam is less so, but he's like it kind of in like the teenage cat phase. So he is kind of like, don't don't touch me, don't interact with me. Um, if I want attention, I shall come to you. Rysand used to be like that, but I think because he's gotten older now, he's a lot more cuddly than he ever used to be. He even came out and allowed Speckle and Petal to pet him when they were here this weekend. So that was huge because a lot of times when people visit, he runs and hides. I mean, we don't see him. But he came out, he even permitted attention. Samwise just kind of wants you to feed him. He is very true to his Hobbit name in that regard. He did. He kept going over for pets. He did. It was like he didn't know which one of the three of us he wanted to pet him, so he was just like going going all over. And he did. He was like kept going back and forth, back and forth. But he has gotten a lot. He's better about that. But he's still pretty much scared of everything. Oh my goodness, this was so funny, y'all. I wish that I had like a video of it. So he was laying on my bed, like he often does in the evenings, and he was kind of like doing like his bedtime bath, right? So it's like almost it's evening. We got to have our evening bath. So he's doing his evening bath on the foot of the bed, minding his business. He's kind of like, licking his bits. And I happened to sneeze. And I scared him so bad when I sneezed. His little paws like went up in the air like this and he rolled and rolled off the bed and he fell off the bed because I sneezed. Oh, it was so funny. I was in tears. I was laughing so hard. It was hilarious. Your little girl Iris, you've had her since she was 6 weeks old. Got her from the Humane Society. She was still in her little cone. Aw. She's now 8. She's the queen of your household. She carries herself like a drag queen, and it's glorious. Oh, I love it. I love it. You've scared the crap out of Chewy many times by sneezing. And usually a sneeze will freak out Reese. But like this was so just it was so dramatic. The way he fell off the bed, it was just like, oh my goodness, it was so funny. It was I'm gonna get the giggles if I start thinking about it too much because it was so funny. I will in fact start giggling and probably not be able to stop if I'm not careful because it was it was hilarious. I love them dearly, but I still wish I could have a dog. And when you give the good scritches and they stretch off the surface, they are gone. Yeah. Or certainly I missed when I was trying to throw that through. Um, or when like we've had a Rasand step on something that he thought was solid and it wasn't, and he like falls through or falls off, whatever it is, because he thought that like the thing he was stepping on would hold his weight, and it did not, in fact, hold his weight. For as much as people want to claim cats are graceful, not my cats. They are not the most graceful at all. But they are a mischief, that's for sure. The jump that didn't quite make it. Yep. Jinx, how are you? It's good to see you. I hope you're doing well. I hope your Monday's off to a good start. I hope and that you had a good weekend. We are doing our crafting week this week from our fundraiser. So today is the first day of Snarky cross stitch all week. So lots of gabbing and chatting and all of that good stuff. So how are you? And then we'll be back into gaming next week. I'm looking forward to making progress on this that we have not worked on in a hot minute. I did finally get a replacement vent cover for the one that Rasand dropped down into the crawl space. Things have been really busy lately, and now you're unwell. Your Crohn's is angry. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Man, chronic illness sucks. Hopefully you can get it back under control relatively quickly and it doesn't like cause too much of an issue for you. I've been okay. Uh, so Speckle and Petalbrook came up this past weekend. Or well, Petalbrook came up and then Speckle came over on Saturday. So got to have some friend time, which was fantastic. Um, Pwin is out of school now, so and he did pass his driver's test, so now he's also driving, which is like crazy, very bizarre. Yeah, we're crafting. Yeah, this is our Snarky craft stitch or cross stitch. And we went with this one because I say that I am in my fuck around and find out era. Awen for Christmas a couple of years ago had gotten me a whole bunch of very snarky cross stitch patterns. And this is the first one that we've been doing. I clearly have not been very diligent with working on it. One of my other favorite ones that she got me um, said, my favorite season is the fall of the patriarchy. So that was a pretty good one. And there was also something like carry yourself with the confidence of a mediocre white man. Anyway, very funny. Congrats to him. Yeah. You're way too busy to be sick, right? I get that. The number like that'll happen where like not just like the chronic illness flare-ups, but like any kind of like you're feeling like you're getting sick and I'm just like I can't be sick. I don't have time to be sick. Like this doesn't work for me. Can we reschedule this sickness? Like didn't you consult my calendar? Because this isn't good for me. I was afraid. It's coming towards like the end of May. I was like, there were a couple of days where I woke up with like a scratchy throat. And I was just like, oh, no, 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 we can't get sick in May. May is not the time to be sick. And then I still had like a symptom flare in May. Um, and wasn't able to stream for like a week because of that, which was not great. But we still hit our stretch goal, our biggest stretch goal. So, we still did the deed. We still did the good stuff. Made it happen. So very happy about that. So I don't think we're gonna finish this flower today, but I do think we're gonna probably finish it up tomorrow. There's another one like right here. So we might do that one next. Or wait, I think that's a leaf. Not a flower. I think it's a leaf. I could be wrong though. Trying to kind of look at the little picture. I think it's like leaves and maybe a little bud. You're fully just gonna have to soldier on. In a few days, you gotta go do DIY work for your dad, and it's physically demanding, and he doesn't take no for an answer. Oh. But yeah, I'm hoping your hay fever is just extra bad and not actually sick, and your Crohn's is just gonna have to... That's... That's not cool. That, like... I mean, you can only do what you can do. And I try your best to not, like, overdo things. And if you have to, like, put the boundary in place, you know, do what you need to do to take care of yourself. But I also understand, because I have family that don't understand what my like chronic fatigue, chronic pain is like, and they don't seem to get it. And it is quite frustrating. They'll, you know, be like, "Oh, well just take a nap. Just go, you know, go to bed early." That doesn't help. You're surrounded by people that expect nothing less than 100% from you. You were still active when you had full body sepsis because no one thought anything of it. Yeah, I do understand. I saw though, I saw a thing where someone, it was a the the thing was, if you only have 10% to give on any given day and you give 10%, you have given 100%. So try to maybe remind, you know, do your best to remind yourself that like it is okay. It took me a long time to get to the point where I could say, no, I can't do that. Um, so after my mom passed, I ended up having to take on guardianship of my developmentally disabled brother. And it was because that's what was expected of me. Even though I have my own issues, um, and I have my own health issues, I still had to do it. And any suggestion that I not do it was met with all sorts of like resistance and like it was a problem. Well, I was guardian of my brother for like 3.5, almost 4 years. And I finally, just this year, said, I can't do this anymore. Someone else has to do it. So I do understand. Sadly, people cannot see beyond their own experience. You're guilty of that, but you have the sense to respect what someone else is experiencing might just be different from your experience, right? You have a max of 6 spoons a day. You're in spoon debt by like, oh, girl, I hear you. I hear you. My cousin's son got married, and I was expected to go to the wedding. And I mean, to be fair, I mean, I wanted to go because, like, it was, you know, my cousin's kid, and I love this kid. And so I did want to go. But the price that I paid for going to that wedding was huge. Like I was bedbound for like 2 full days afterwards, and then the rest of the week was just not like I didn't do anything. You feel that? Your family had your own business for over 40 years. You barely made it through college, was recently diagnosed with ADHD, and now your family looks down on you because you're not as successful and you're on medication for mental health. Yeah, that's just like, what is successful, right? The problem that exists in many in the culture in the United States, but this isn't just in the United States. I think this is a lot of Western cultures in which capitalism is a prevalent thing. People seem to equate success and value with a dollar sign or a pound sign or a euro sign or whatever it might be. But that's what people tend to attribute success and worth and value to, which is bullshit. And it's something that I've struggled with a ton with being disabled, is just feeling like I don't have value and worth. And it's because society and the culture that we live in says otherwise. Says like, "Oh no, this is how it's supposed to be." And if you're not this, then you're not a productive or valued member of society, which is just like not true. Being Gen X and diagnosed with multiple different neurodivergences, you realize that as a kid, being told you're just emotional or she's so dramatic was just ignorant speaking on their part. But it taught you to mask it. It taught you you're a burden in your 50s and you're reclaiming yourself away from that toxicity. Yeah, exactly. And then I had a special needs brother on top of it. So my needs and wants were not deemed as important, or I needed to figure it out on my own or whatever. You're in Canada, so like North America. Yeah, exactly. I think you need more friends to talk to who under there is something to be said for having people who have a shared experience. It's not ever going to be the same, right? Because everyone's experience is personal and individual. But having a shared general experience, I do think is important. And it can be really, really good and really useful, especially when you're dealing things with like chronic illness, right? Because if you're not chronically ill, you don't get it. Now, some people are better at empathizing and like being understanding and tolerant of it, but I would say most people aren't. Hey, Amby Bamby, welcome in. I saw you quiet lurk earlier, so I didn't want to call you out of lurk. You read a study about this the other day. At the end of life, the quality of one's closest relationships, including self, were what people kept feeling. Let me try that again. At the end of life, the quality of one's closest relationships were what people kept feeling mattered most to them. Yeah. Wow, sorry. I was like, I could not, could not. And you learn real quick, when you become chronically ill, um, who your real support people are. And it can be really hard because you also learn that the people you expected to be your support, were not. You were diagnosed with bipolar depression, severe anxiety as a teen. It was until recently you graduated from college and looked at mental health from a different perspective and said, you don't actually think you have those. So I feel so there was like a period of time where like bipolar depression as well as borderline personality disorder. Borderline. Sorry, I'm saying the wrong thing. Was just kind of like this blanket diagnosis that they gave to people, especially if you were a woman. and it wasn't accurate. So I can understand how that might have been your experience. Making friends as a chronically ill and oh no, oh, I understand that so much, Jinx, because I don't have a lot of energy to put into friendships. I have so much trouble making real life friends because I don't have a lot of energy. You're still lurking. Just it felt it was important when you were talking about defining success. I appreciate you coming out of lurk to share that. Thank you for that. Those diagnoses were institutionalized. Yeah, I'll put on Ritalin. I'll put in a psych ward. Yep. It's because they didn't want to they didn't look into things more. They gave it to you because you were making rash decisions. Well, I hope that you're able to find the get the right diagnosis for you, because having that will make such a big difference for you and understanding your own your own self. Oh, she's ADHD, give Ritalin. She's over emotional, put her on Ritalin. It was awful. Well, and a lot of times too, because ADHD in girls and women present very differently. Like, I didn't realize that I had any real neurodivergence until my kids were being until just like a couple of years ago. It hit me. And it's because my kids were being tested for ADHD. And when I was like talking with the practitioners and they were like asking about these things, and I'm realizing, oh wait, I do that, and I do that, and I also do that, and I do that, but because I masked it and I was extremely intelligent, it was not looked at as like a thing. And plus, I had a special needs brother. His issues were more severe and more important than mine, so I just had to figure it out. You honestly do better with online friends because you just expect them to reply when they have the energy, no matter how long it takes. Yeah, there is something to be said though for the in-person bonding. Um, there is something to be said about that. Um, but it is hard when you just don't have the energy. You think going through college in a mental health field gave you a better understanding? Yeah, yeah, I could see that. Gave you some tools that um, you know, maybe wouldn't have had otherwise. Yay for getting a task done! After stream, I want to look more closely at the website of that designer that you shared. I would like to see. I want to look more closely at it because they had from that first cursory glance I took, um, looked like really cute stuff. In-person bonding is great, and you have one close IRL friend, but you also just like yapping with people online because no one seems to want to. Hey, that's fair. We're always welcome to come in here and yap. There's gonna be a lot of yapping this week because it's crafting week. So lots and lots of yapping. We almost have the lion done, but the hoop and base still need to be done. Nice. Very nice. I've done quite a few of the tiny modernist stitch alongs. I have one going right now, but I'm not keeping up on it because I have too much else to do. All of your IRL friends live in different states. I know. I'm lucky that Speckle lives close. So, but yeah, same. Like my other close IRL friends are in different states. Like, Can you just come over? Because I want a hug. Can you just come give me a hug? I don't care that it's an 8-hour drive. At least the one good thing is Petal is close enough that we can get together on occasion. It's like it's still a long drive, but it's not like horrid. But it would be nice if we were closer. And then we could, see each other more on the regular. And I tried to make friends with like the parents of my kids' friends. But the one thing that I kind of noticed is people get a little weird about single moms too. And like doing things with single moms if they're coupled. So that's been challenging too. You'd fly around the room if one of your friends wanted a hug. You love hugs. Hugs are good. They are. Also give you an excuse to hang out with your niece and exactly. Friends and family all in one go. And family you like. Not family that you know, just tolerate. Oh, I had a weird like chat glitch there. I didn't lose any frames though. That was weird. Could have been OBS though. You adore that niece and her partner. I'm glad. It's always nicer when you enjoy the family that you're spending time with. It was Twitch, you had chat buffer. Okay. Yeah, I had the chat buffering, but it doesn't seem like I lost frames, just chat. Let's come over here. Yeah. Nope. Here. Wait, did I? I am on the wrong row. Let me fix that. I need to be here. There we go. There we go. We're in the right spot now. Nothing is worse than having to frog cross stitch. Ugh. That is soul crushing. And I did have to, I want to say it was something with this flower where I had to frog like a whole bunch of it. And it was soul crushing. Like I don't want to have to frog cross stitch. Oh, over 125 stitches you put in the wrong way. Oh, I feel that. Oh man, that hurts. That hurts. I think the only thing, like frogging knitting can be painful, I'll tink back before, like, if I can get away with just tinking back, I'll tink back and not actually frog it. Frogging crochet is just kind of like, yeah, whatever. It's like annoying, but like you don't have to worry about like picking the stitches back up the right way, or like cross stitch where it's such a pain. 2.5 fish in a pan. Oh, oh. That's when I'm like, this is going in timeout. We're gonna come back and work on this a little more later, because right now I can't. Or I'm going to murder someone. Oh, I don't blame you. I would also be fuming. I would be as well. And sometimes, depending on the pattern, I'll be like, okay, can I just like adjust in some way, shape, or form so I don't have to redo this? But then I'm also such a perfectionist that I'm like, no, I can't, because I will know that it doesn't line up properly. No one else might know, but I will know. Or just the way that the pattern is, it doesn't work. You have to, and I was like, this is terrible. And it was just that you had started yourself off the wrong motif by accident, not paying enough attention, and it was so off. Oh, yeah, I understand. Or like, I've done it where like I'm doing a frame, right? Like I'll do the frame and then I'll do the inside, and like I counted wrong, like going across. So I'm coming down with my frame and it doesn't line up. But because of the way the pattern is, you can't just make it like one wider or one more narrow, because it will just throw off the whole pattern. And so you have to go back. Well, then you have to figure out which one you counted wrong on, and then go all the way back and redo the frame. And it's like, oh, yeah, yep, it is. It is 100% a moment for tears and yelling and screaming and throwing up. Oh, the crafty problems that that exist. You know what? Maybe we are gonna finish this color today. I'm actually not going at too bad of a pace. Which, is easy to keep a decent pace when you're not having to change colors all the like every 4 stitches. Sometimes that's my full coverage piece. Like sometimes if the area I'm working on is like a lot of one color, it feels like it goes really fast. But then when it's just like a lot of, not like full confetti, but like just like a few stitches, it takes so long because you're like constantly changing your needle and changing your thread. I can't work on my full coverage piece on stream though, because I'm doing it on 25 count and I have to use a magnifying glass so that I can see what I'm doing. Um, Otherwise it makes my eyeballs go a bit crazy. And I don't know how wearing the magnifying glass while trying to stream would work. I'm not sure it would work very well. So, but this is kind of the stream cross stitch anyway. But I find it, as much as I love knitting, and I do love knitting, my favorite thing about cross stitch is when you start to see the shape or the picture come together. You tried to work on your heaven and earth during a virtual stitch retreat last month. The concentration was too much. Yeah, that's what it is. Is it's a heaven and earth. It's their year-long stitch along is what I'm doing. And I had to and because I like a lunatic, I decided I wanted to do it on 25 count. 18 count is kind of my standard go-to. I like 18 count. It's like it's small enough that like things aren't massive, but not so small that like it hurts my eyes to work on it. So like 18 count is kind of like my favorite count to go with. But no, I'm like, no, I'm gonna do 25 count. I was really close to frogging it. Um, and just like starting over completely on a smaller count fabric. And then I ordered the magnifying glass, and it's got like it's like it goes around my neck and it'll sit like right here, and it has a light on it. And that was a game changer. Once I got that, I was like, okay, I can keep going with this. But for a week or so there, I really thought I had bitten off far more than I could chew. And this is my first time ever doing a heaven and earth pattern. And these are like small versions of it compared to some of theirs. But still, I have zero faith that I will actually finish. I know I won't finish it by the end of the year. But that's okay. I just want to get the 6 pages done so that I can get, because there are other of the stitch along patterns that I liked and wouldn't mind having. There are some I don't care for, but you get, if you finish 6 pages, you get all of them. And I finished 3 pages, but I also really didn't work on it very much in April and May. So getting those 6 pages done really won't be a problem. I just need to like work on it. But to be fair too, in the end of March and April, I was trying to finish the blanket that I was working on for my cousin's son as his wedding gift. And so like for a good month, all of my crafting energy went into that blanket, and I did not work on anything else except that blanket. Well, with the exception of the socks that I took with me for um track meets and stuff, but like everything, all of my crafting energy was finishing that blanket. And I did. I got it finished in time for the wedding. So I did get it done. guess let's see how far we can go with what this floss that we have left. It's kind of like an awkward amount. Maybe I'll just do this little area with this. I'm getting close to being done with this color. I think I will finish this color and then we'll probably wrap up stream. So we'll go a little bit longer so I can finish this. You know, just when I say, oh, we're gonna finish this thread off, because there's like an okay amount. Oh wait, it knotted weird. Well, okay, maybe we're gonna get a new piece of floss because this has a funky knot in it and I don't want to deal with it. So let's just get a new piece. It's almost time to get a new piece anyway. And since it was a knot, yeah, so there's a little bit like here in these petals, and then we'll be done with this color. So I think, and that is really reasonable to finish up for today's stream. And then it feels really good because then we did well, I guess technically only two colors completely. But we finished the one color. We've been very slowly doing paleo stuff, and you unlocked your riff rack. Nice. That comes from giving Sugarfoot her stuff, right? Isn't that where the riff rack comes from? Am I right on that? Honestly, I haven't really been paying a ton of stuff to Sugarfoot's once. I've been focusing more on the bulletin board. I will, though. Yeah, I'll probably, after I'm done streaming, like lay flat on my bed for a little while, and then I will probably recline downstairs on the couch and do some paleo, do dailies, check on my animals, slowly get my ranching back up where it should be. I had kind of neglected it, and I need to get, I like having two of each type of animal, and I don't right now, and I need to kind of get that back where I want it to be. I'm kind of thinking about adding Palea back into like a more regular rotation with streaming, and maybe that will inspire me to actually like do something with my house too. Like we can get all the quests we've got finished, and then, you know, I could maybe start doing the house. You're a bit overwhelmed with your ranching right now. You have too many horses. Oh, when ranching first came out, I had like 6 of everything. It was unhinged. And I went, "Hey Sam. Yeah, I can't get your spring. It rolled away. I can't throw it for you and it rolls away." But yeah, I had like 6 of everything. And I found and I got really overwhelmed because there were too many. And I would like, it would literally take me like the whole day to like tend to my animals. And so I was like, okay, we're gonna do just two of everything. Like, I want to keep a breeding pair basically. And so that's been much more manageable. You didn't touch ranching other than to have your Pecky. Never did a thing with it until like a few months ago. Yeah, I remember you were like, no. But it is really useful. I want, you know what? I want one that gives me bugs. We've got the one that gives us fish. I want one that gives me bugs. Hi, Sam. What's up, honey? Give sense, learn the benefits. Because sometimes you can get like I've gotten really rare fish from the Bouvar. Like the thundering eel I got from a Bouvar. So I would love for one that gives me bugs. You haven't gotten anything rare from your floor bluebird. It's just, yeah, and I don't know, like, I've gotten like rares. Sam Wise. Oh my, he is like yowling in the hallway, like someone's murdering him. Dramatic floof. Um, yeah, I don't know what triggers it. Like, but I have a couple of times gotten like really rare fish from the Bouvar. And I was like, oh my gosh. No idea how. I don't know if there's a buff that they need or I don't know. But I wasn't mad about it. Okay, we do have an ad that's gonna play. This will be the last ad. We will take that little break because I kind of just need to like stretch my hands and also use the bathroom. So, and then when we come back from that ad break, we're gonna finish up this color and then we'll wrap up stream, I think. I need a drink though. My throat is starting to get a little scratchy scratchy. I'm talking a lot, so I'm getting my scritchy scratchy throat. I need to also in Palea, I need to like work on finishing all of my friendship stuff. Like I have like maybe a quarter of people's friendships maxed. So I need to go through and work on getting that maxed. And then I also kind of want to go through and do like the romance stuff with as many people as possible. As much as, although it's going to break my heart to not have Hassian's pin. Because I love Hassian. And I can't find this. There we go. And like, I know they don't care, but still. Although I will admit that thinking about romancing Einar is a little weird to me. Fortunately, he doesn't get mad. You still flirt with him and Tish, but are almost unmaxing Kenyatta and Naya. That's good. That is good. Not sure who you want to pursue next. Maybe Gina. Gina is super cute. Oh, Daddy. You know who I wish we could romance? And like I know like he is pretty caught up on like grieving his wife. I want to romance Ashura. He just feels like such a big fuzzy teddy bear. Gel does feel weird. If I was not female, Gel would feel less weird. Yeah, Gel. I don't know how interested Gel would be in me, in my femme presenting self. Okay, that is gonna play. So we're gonna take a real quick break, and we'll be back to finish up this color on the flower when that ad break is over. So we will be back in just a few minutes. Make sure you're engaging in self-care, and I'll be back when it's over. All right. I am back. Thank you for sticking around during that ad break. Speckle, I saw you sent something like right before I like walked, stepped away. Let's see. Tamala, you, no thank you. Subura is romanceable? I don't know about that one. Gina, Jel, Hodari, Einar. I think that's your choice for the next pins after you finish making your thruple. Maxing your thruple. Yeah. Subura is... I don't... Yeah, I don't know how I feel about Subura. Nah, nope. Not for me. I didn't know she was romanceable. Yeah, she doesn't do it for me. Subura the Cougar. I mean, kind of, yeah. I mean, I guess I could kind of see it. She and Hodar, yeah. Yeah, I could see that. I don't know. I didn't quite get like I don't like Hodari didn't quite do it for me either. I want Ashura. Like I want to be able to romance him because he's just like big teddy bear boy, and he's my shep. He's who I made my shep. And Gina is really cute. Wait, can you romance Hekla? If you can romance Einar. Oh god, please tell me you can't romance the gardener. Could you imagine? Mm. You wanted Ashura for your shop, but you cannot get his friendship moving, so you have Badru. Yeah, I was like, no, I want Ashura as my shop. And so I got Ashura as my shop. He's my shop. No, oh good. I'm glad there's no romance for the gardener. Could you imagine? I do not like the gardener. Right there, okay. And Echelon is supposed to be one at some point, right? I'll romance him. I thought I had read that he will be romanceable at some point. Eventually they will unlock friendship with him, but they did not specific I think he will be. People are too like I think he will be. I think people are way too like, oh yeah, yeah. For him not to be. Okay, this is the last stitch of this color. So I'm gonna, or at least on, this part. So I'm gonna finish that off. All right, this has gone pretty well. Almost have finished the yellow flower. So that's good. Let me finish checking off these stitches. Okay, and 345 stitches. So that's pretty good. We did 345 stitches today. Like that feels really, really good. I'll show you on the good camera what we're looking like. All right, here's what we're looking like. So that was really good progress today, I think. And we'll keep working on it tomorrow. Or not tomorrow, Thursday. I think it would be if by the end of the week, if we could get all finish this flower and get the leaves over here done, that would be great. I would be happy about it. But yeah, 345 stitches today. That feels pretty good for a little over, for right around 3 hours of stitching. It feels pretty good. I'm happy with that. Thank you all. Why does the K-pop bundle have to be so expensive? You want the dance? Yeah, I'm not really interested in that bundle. You could just buy the emote, but you kind of want the outfit. It is a really expensive bundle. That one is a little more than what I think it should be. The dance is fun because friends can join in on you. That is kind of fun. It's like the Smussle from our Sims 2 days. Okay, let's go maybe do a little raid. It gives you that vibe. Love it. Do we have any friends crafting? Yeah. I think I know where we can go on a little raid. We're gonna go on a little raid and go see someone else who is yeah, I got somebody. We're good. I got somebody. Thank you though. I appreciate it because finding who to raid is like a whole thing. So we are gonna go to raid. So if you are a follower, go ahead and grab that raid message with the red hearts to drop in chat. A subscriber, go ahead and grab that one with the tater hearts. And we're gonna go see another fellow crafter working on. They're doing some crochet. It looks like. So we're gonna go see somebody doing some crochet. My plan is to be live again on Thursday. There is a link to the Discord if anyone would like to join, and I do post all my stream schedules there, as well as if anything changes. As a person who is chronically ill, things can flare, and sometimes I do have to cancel stream. And I make sure I let everybody know in the Discord. So that is the best place to just know what's going on with the stream and whatnot. I'll snap a picture of this as well and put it in the Discord so y'all can see what it's actually looking like, better than on this camera. But yeah, I appreciate you all being here and hanging out with me for some crafty yapping time. That's going to be the vibe of the week, and hopefully we can make some good progress. So I really appreciate it. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me today. Have a great rest of your day. Have a good week until I see you again on Thursday. I love you all so much, and I will see you then. Love you. Bye! Hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, yeah. Ooh. Well, the time has come to wrap things up, but my heart is full. Can't thank you enough for hanging out and spending time. You make this space so warm.